That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? We don't talk a lot about video games on the channel, but when they're directly connected to one of the most popular pieces, one of the best pieces of entertainment in movies or television today, we kind of make an exception. Of course, one of the highest selling video game franchises of all time, Last of Us. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think Last of Us 2 set the record for most video game of the year wins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, a lot of people have been wondering when they're going to get around to doing a 3. Well, according to this headline, Neil Druckmann is saying there's probably not going to be a Last of Us Part 3. Screen Rant wrote the following. In an interview with Variety, Last of Us writer and director Neil Druckmann has apparently confirmed that there may not be another sequel, saying, don't bet on there being more Last of Us. This could be it. While not a total confirmation, Druckmann's statement indicates that a prospective The Last of Us Part 3 isn't likely, even after the launch of Naughty Dog's upcoming game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which a lot of people are talking about, which was announced at the 2024 Game Awards. All right. There's two hands here. In hand number one, there's the issue of, listen, I confess I did not play The Last of Us Part 2. I watched like the 8, 12, 16, however many hour long movie of it. And I quite frankly was floored. I thought it was the best story, not the best game, but I thought it was the best storytelling I've ever seen in a game. Like but I'm a sucker for movies and shows and stories that deal with what pain can do to people, even good people. I'm a sucker for those types of stories. And I thought Last of Us Part 2 was a triumph in that regard. On the other hand, so you're talking about not making a third one to that. Oh, okay. But more immediately for me, though, it brings up the question of, well, what happens to the HBO series? Like, we know we're getting 3 seasons because we got season 1, and then the story of Part 2 is being broken into 2 seasons. So that's season 2 and 3. But does this mean that Druckmann and Chernobyl guy,
Craig Mazin.
Mazin. Will Druckmann and Mazin go ahead and just write an original new season after the 3rd season of Last of Us? Will HBO plan to just shut it down after season 3? So I really hope not, because listen, and maybe season 2 sucks. I loved season 1 so much. I've never seen, it is easily the best video game adaptation to screen I think ever done. One of the only good ones ever done. And I really would like to see 5 or 6 seasons of stories, even if they change characters throughout. But I don't know, Rob, you hear about this. What do you think about it in terms of the video game world? How do you think it may impact what we do or do not see in HBO Max? I don't know. How do you take
I think, the Last of Us franchise is so story driven, and how many people getting emotionally caught up in that game was something I think everybody who played those games did. And I think that's really hard to do. And I think Neil Druckmann going, look, we're probably not going to do it, probably because they've said everything they need to say. They know they don't have a story. I mean, I could see him 5 years from now, if he came up with something that he thought was worthy of doing, like something to return to that game and get the kind of emotional. I mean, look at how many people got really upset with The Last of Us 2. I mean, they were emotionally invested in that game. So if they have a story that's worthy of that, I think Druckmann would come back. I like the idea that he said, look, we're probably not going to do it. I think there's some integrity there. I mean, certainly the franchise has made a heck of a lot of money. They're doing their HBO show. And I think unless we have an idea that's either going to be as good or if not better, why do it? I mean, we could take the money and run, but then if you make something terrible, it diminishes your brand.
By the way, without giving anything away for people who don't know, second part, Mark W. in the live chat, one of our channel members said, Part 2 made me hate golf. If you know, you know, but Part 2 made me hate golf. I like that a lot. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hungryroot. You know, grocery shopping used to be one of the biggest struggles. Between your busy schedule and wanting to eat healthier, it just feels impossible to stay on top of everything. But all that changes when you discover Hungryroot, the easiest way to eat healthy without the hassles. Hungryroot is like having your own personal grocery shopper. They take care of the weekly shopping for you, recommending healthy, high-quality groceries tailored to your tastes, nutritional preferences, and even health goals. They've got it all: smoothies, snacks for the kids, ready-to-eat meals, and even supplements. For me, Hungryroot is absolutely a game changer, guys. My health goals have become so much easier to stick to. I love how they personalize my cart every week and even get smart about my preferences as I go. It's honestly stress-free and so simple. You're gonna love Hungryroot as much as I do. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/Campea and use the code Campea. That's hungryroot.com/Campea, using the code Campea to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/Campea, code Campea. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Neil Druckmann is saying don't bet on there being a Last of Us Part 3. And also maybe you got kind of tired and turned off by the response that a certain segment of the audience gave it. I don't know. What do you think can happen here? Do you think they can continue on with the show even without another new game? I mean, with Craig Mason, why not? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.